In accordance with Bhagavad Gita, which of the following are not characteristic of Rajasic Ahar? Lavani Yukta, that is laced with salt. Snigdha, very hot, long lasting, and delicious. So you have to choose the correct option from here. It is A option, that is A, B, C, or B option, C option, or D option. For Hindi, I will read it out. The Hindi question, भगवत गीता के अनुसार राजसिक आहार के लक्षण नहीं है लवण युक्त, स्निग्ध, बहुत गर्म, स्थिर रहने वाला और रसयुक्त. सो नीचे दिए गए विकल्पों में से सही उत्तर का चयन कीजिए. सो हु इज गोइंग टू टेल मी व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? 1 2 3 4. व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर?
That is C option, ma'am.
Okay, so what? Not a Rajasic ahar.
Snigdha, Rajasic, which are not the Rajasic food.
Yes.
Snigdha, long lasting and delicious. Those are Sattvic food.
Okay, so Snigdha is Sattvic. Then is long lasting, that is sthir. That is also Sattvic. And Rasa Yukta, very good. That is also
that is
Sattvic. Yes, very good. Then the next question, June 2022, Sattvic Ahar, according to Bhagavad Gita, are Ruksha, Snigdha, Rasya, Gata Rasam, and Sthir. What is a Sattvic Ahar?
B, C, E.
So which option? A, B, C, or D? Which
C,
option?
ma'am. C.
Okay, C. So it is Snigdha. Yes, Snigdha. Then is Rasya and Sthir. Very good. Then in 2021, according to Bhagavad Gita, the properties of Sattvic Ahar are. A lot of questions are asked from Ahar. If you can see, बहुत questions पूछे जाते हैं. So you have to be very clear and you have to learn all the 3 shlokas. If you are unable to learn all the shlokas, at least remember the Sanskrit words and the meaning of them. So, according to Bhagavad Gita, the properties of Sattvic Ahar are the one which gives intellect, fire-inducing, pleasure-enhancing, causing worry, or
A, C, E.
love-enhancing.
3 options.
So, it is the one that gives intellect. Okay. So, fire-inducing is which?
Rajasic.
Pleasure-enhancing is Sattvic. Causing
Rajasic.
Rajasic. And love-enhancing is again
Sattvic.
So when you're reading, just revise it in this way. This again, sorry, this is in Hindi. Then again in July 2018, they have just changed the words. According to Bhagavad Gita, properties of Sattvic Ahar are pleasure and love promoter, hot.
A or C. A or C. C option.
C. C option means A and C. So pleasure and love promoter is Sattvic. Hot and salt is what?
Rajasic.
Rajasic. Age and intellect promoter is Sattvic. Worry and disease is again Rajasic. Very nice. Now let's look at Tamasic Ahar. What is Tamasic Ahar? So here, just a minute, I'll just increase the font. So Tamasic Ahar, yesterday we saw this also. Yata Yamam, that means food cooked more than 3 hours before. So you cooked at maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and if you are eating it after 10, that means it is considered as Yata Yamam, that is Tamasic. So whatever we cook should be consumed within 3 hours. Otherwise, it becomes Tamasic. Even Sattvic food will become Tamasic. So in Bhagavad Gita, in our Granth, it is said that such a food is called as a stale food. According to us, what do we say? That what is a stale food? Subah ka sham ko khaye, If we have consumed the morning food in the evening, then it is stale. Or if we consume the previous day food, then it is stale. But if you go look from Bhagavad Gita point of view, Bhagwan is saying that any food, anything that you cook, if it stays or if it is not consumed within 3 hours, then it is called as yatayamam, that is stale. Then gata rasam. Gata rasam means tasteless. Tasteless food is also tamasik, puti, that means bad smelling, something that doesn't smell very good. Paryushit, that is rotten or decomposed food. Then is uchishtam, that means remains of the food eaten by others. किसी का झूठा नहीं खाना है. That is, if you eat, then it is called as tamasic food. And amedhyam, that means impure, non-veg. So meat, fish, chicken. So all these are tamasic food. Yatayamam, gatarasam, puti, paryushit, uchishtam, and amedhyam. These are tamasic food. That is what Bhagwan has told us. Now, in September 2024, according to Bhagavad Gita, which of the following sorts of food is liked by a person having the attribute of tamas? तो तमस वालों को किस टाइप का फूड पसंद है? Age enhancing, intelligence and strength. I always show you the answer. Okay. Then very hot, stringent, acidic, bitter, sour, dry, half-baked, devoid of juice or leftover. Tell me.
D option, leftover.
D option. Okay. Tell me, first option, sattvic, rajasic, which
Ma'am,
one?
सात्विक है, सात्विक.
Okay. Very good. Hot, stringent, acidic,
राजसिक.
rajasic, bitter, sour, dark.
राजसिक है, राजसिक.
Yes.
Rajasika.
Very good. So when you are studying, just recollect this and save. So revision हो जाएगा आपका. Then in September 2024, in which of the following shlokas of Bhagavad Gita we find the description of food? Chapter 2.15 to second chapter.
17 chapter. Sorry.
Chapter 6.13, chapter 6.17.
हाँ, C है ऑप्शन होगा.
कौन सा?
मैम 17 चैप्टर में है, लेकिन मैंने श्लोक नहीं देखा. अगर और इसमें और भी ऑप्शन है क्या नीचे?
नहीं, इतने ही है ऑप्शन.
अच्छा अच्छा, 17 चैप्टर में किया गया है, लेकिन श्लोक 2 दिए हुए हैं इसमें, वो देखना पड़ेगा मैम.
So here none of the answers were
हाँ,
correct.
2 है ना, E भी है.
Chapter 17, verse
C और
from
D आ जाएगा. यस मैम.
10. From so none of the answers were correct. So this question was wrong. The question was correct. The options given were wrong. So the words were from 7 to 10. So ahar or food is discussed from shlok 7 to 10.
ओके मैम.
Yes. So Trivida Yagya. Now Bhagwan is telling about Yagya. Yagya is also Bhagwan saying that 3 types of Yagya. Till now in previous adhyas Bhagwan told us do Yagya, then how should we perform Yagya? Everything Bhagwan has told, but now here Bhagwan is saying in this adhyaya that there are 3 types of Yagya. Sattvic, Rajasic and again Tamasic.
Tamasic.
3 types of Yagya. So Sattvic Yagya, let's understand what is Sattvic Yagya. Aphalakangshabhiryajño vidhishto ya ijjate yashtavyameveti manasa samadhaya sa sattvikah. So, what is Sattvic Yagya? That sacrifice which is offered by men without desire for fruit. So, when you don't expect anything and you perform a Yagya, as enjoined by ordinance, that means as told in scriptures, जैसे शास्त्र में बताया गया है उस हिसाब से जब यज्ञ करते हैं with firm faith, मैंने पूरे श्रद्धा से, so with absolute faith as told in the scriptures and without any expectation, when we perform yajna, that yajna is called as Sattvic Yajna. Then let's understand what is Rajasic. Again, the part that I have highlighted, please learn them. They might ask you the Sanskrit words, and then from which adhyay or which shlok, or whether it is Satvik, Rajasic or Tamasic. So at least learn the first part. Then is what is Rajasic Yajna? The sacrifice which is offered, O best of the Bharatas, seeking for fruit and for ostentation. You may know that to be Rajasic. Now here in Satvik, Bhagavan told us that there is no desire of fruit. We don't want anything. So in Satvik Yajna, there is no expectation. So what we do normally, whenever we have some puja or havan in the house, we keep it for a reason. That okay, let all the problems that we are facing or whatever problem we are having in the family or disturbance in the family, let that be resolved. So that is our expectation. So something of that sort we expect when we are keeping a havan or a yajna. But Bhagwan is saying if we do it in that way, then it is rajasic. When we seek a fruit, then it is rajasic. And also ostentation, that means bragging or boasting. There are people who perform yajna just to brag. Oh, I every year I perform this month I perform this year, this month I perform this year, Shravan mein ye karte hai, December mein ye karte hai. So for bragging and boasting, if you are bragging, if you are boasting about it, then Bhagavan is saying that yajna is rajasic yajna. So what is sattvic yajna? Sattvic yajna is when we do it with absolute faith, that is Shraddha, as told by the scripture, that is the second point. And third is without any desire. Then it is Sattvic. What is Rajasic? When we expect something or a fruit, and when we do it for bragging or boosting, then it is Rajasic Yajna. Now let's understand what is Tamasic Yajna. Vidhihinam. Vidhihin means without any proper procedure or process. Vidhihinam sruštannam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitayajnyan tamasam parichakshate. Vidhihina means without any proper process. For every yajna, there is a certain procedure or process how that yajna should be done. When we do not follow that and we just perform any yajna or havan the way we want it, then it is called as vidhihina. Then it is called as asrishtinam. That means without annam. That means when we don't distribute any prasad, every yajna or havan, after it is done, naivedya hum dikhate hain. So there is a prasad that we offer to the God and also to the guest and the family members. But when we perform tamasic yajna, there is no prasad that is offered. Mantrahin, that means no chanting of Vedic mantras. There are no mantras that are chanted. A dakshinam, that means no remuneration, or the pandit or the pujari who come to our house to perform that yajna, we give them some dakshina. So in Tamasic yajna, those priests or those guruji, okay, they are not given anything for performing the yajna. So here Bhagavan is saying sacrifice devoid of faith. First of all, they are devoid of faith. They don't have any shraddha. Contrary to the injunctions. See, in Sattvic, they said they have complete faith. Here, Tamasic, exactly opposite to that. Contrary to injunctions. In Sattvic, they said as per the injunctions, as per the scriptures. Now here, it is exactly opposite to it, in which no food is offered, no mantras are chanted, and no donation is made. That is considered as a tamasic yajna. तीन चीजें हैं रुचि जूस में. एक आपने बोल दिया कि हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट कुछ नहीं करते, फल एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते हैं. दूसरा आपने बता दिया कि स्क्रिप्चर या शास्त्र के हिसाब से करते हैं. What is the third one? The name of this chapter?
Shraddha.
श्रद्धा श्रद्धा
यस, हाँ पूरे श्रद्धा के साथ करते हैं. ओके, इन तीनों का एग्जैक्टली
Yes, ma'am.
अपोजिट इज इन तामसिक. पढ़ाई करते वक्त व्हेन यू आर स्टडीइंग रिमेंबर इट इन दैट वे. इसका एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट इज तामसिक. ओके, नाउ हु इज गोइंग टू टेल मी राजसिक यज्ञ. Someone else? Yes, नवनीता जी, अच्छा मृण्मय जी बताइए.
Namaste, ma'am.
जी नमस्ते.
Rajasic Yajna is that Yajna in which one boasts of the performance of a Yajna, and whenever he performs a Yajna, he always boasts and boasts before others that I have performed this. So that is called Rajasic Yajna. That is performance with boasting. That Yajna is Rajasic Yajna.
So for Rajasic, Bhagwan has told that there are two things that are called as because of which
With
that
the
yajna
result.
is Rajasic. One is
With when we perform the yajna with expectation of a result.
yes, we expect. Okay, and second is bragging or boosting. So phal. So we expect the fruit. And second is dambha. Dambha means bragging or boosting, or we feel very proud, or we take that pride that yes, I have performed this year so many years. So that is Rajasic. Now tell me Tamasic. Who's going to tell me about Tamasic? So Kanya ji. Yes. Very good. Tell me.
Tamasik is its opposite to Satvik. That is a Vidhihinam. They won't follow the scriptures
Very
and
good.
they won't have faith at all. And then they are in ignorance.
Daksh-
And another one is
दक्षिणा कोई दक्षिणा नहीं
they
देते.
won't make donation. Yeah, they won't make donation at all.
And
And no mantra chanting.
No mantra chanting.
No mantra chanting. Yes.
and one more.
One more.
There is no Shraddha.
There is no
No donation is made.
no
There is
प्रसाद ही नहीं हम बनाते हैं.
हाँ प्रसाद भी नहीं जी.
Food is offered.
oh.
Okay, so the same thing I have put in the table for you to understand it. Now dana, we have seen shraddha, ahar and yagya. Now dana, let's look at what is dana. So dan Bhagwan is again dan is sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. If you remember, I had told you in the previous adhyaya that dan is not always sattvic or good. There are different types of dan. Just because you're donating or you're doing charity doesn't mean that it is always good. Doesn't mean that it is always sattvic. So Bhagwan here is again saying that dan is also of three types: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So what is sattvic dan? Sattvic dan is that which is sincerely given to a deserving person at the proper time and place without expecting anything in return. So now, what does this mean? This means that whoever needs, for example, someone is very hungry. You have gone to the temple and you see someone who is very, very hungry and you offer him food. That is sattvic. But if someone is already had food and if you offer them food, it cannot be sattvic. If someone has very scarce clothes and he is feeling cold, if you give them food, what is the point? He wants clothes. So at the proper time and place, you should give that deserving person whatever he wants, not what you want to give. It should be his need. Are you getting what I mean to say? I want to give something, that's why I'm giving. It should not be like that. It should be what the other person, what is the need at that time? What does that person or what do those people need? That you should be giving. That is sattvic. And when you're doing that, do that charity Give that donation and don't expect anything in return. Sattvic is always without any expectation. Then what is Rajasic? Rajasic dan is that which is reluctantly given for the sake of return and result. So when we want something, we actually don't want to do any charity, we don't want to do, but we have to do. And why do we have to do? Because we want something in return. So हमारे मन में तो नहीं है दान करना. I don't want to do the charity, but I have to do it. Maybe to show the people, maybe for getting some award or recognition in the society, for the name. So you want something in return, and that's why you're doing that charity or dan. That is Rajasic. Then what is Tamasic dan? That which is given without respect to an undeserving person at an improper time and place. That means exactly opposite to Sattvic. That which is given without respect. So when you are donating, okay, so when you are giving or doing the charity, you should have that humbleness in you, not that you're giving someone off. So you are someone who is at a higher level and the other person who is in need is just some low-lying person. You should not have that feeling in you. So when you are doing charity, you should be humble, you should be polite, you should respect the other person also. Otherwise it can be, you just throw things. Okay, have this. So that is not right. So you should respect. So that which is given without respect to an undeserving person at an improper time and place. So something, if the person, like I gave the example while explaining Sattvic, if the person is feeling cold, and if he needs clothes, a warm thing, a blanket, or a shawl, or something warm, and you offer that person something else, what is the point? So that type of dan or charity is tamasic. So whatever is required at that time, you need to donate that thing only. Only then it is sattvic. Otherwise it becomes tamasic. A lot of times it happens that, okay, we have a lot of food. Okay, there was a function in the house and lot of food is remaining. So we just go and we give it to people. But do they, beggars or whoever on the signal also, or the watchman, but do they need it? Do they want it? Or they want something else? We never think about it. We don't want it, so we give it. So that should not be the case when you're doing any charity or dan. So sattvic dan is a dan that is given to a deserving person. So whatever you're giving, that person also needs that at a proper time and place and without expecting anything in return. Then Rajasic is, you don't want to do the charity. You're forced to do the charity. And when now that you're doing the charity, why you're doing it? Because you want something in return. That's why you're doing charity. If you were not going to get anything in return, then you would never have done any kind of charity or dan. That thought process is Rajasic. That if I am not going to get anything, why should I donate? That is Rajasic. And Tamasic is when given without respect to an undeserving person at an improper time or place. Then Bhagwan has further told us about tapa. Now here tapa. Again, 3 types of tapa. Shri Krishna divides tap on the basis of gunas and also on the basis of the instrument as given below. So tap here are of 3 types. Sharirik, that is physical; verbal, that is manasic; vachik, and mental, that is manasic. So tap are of 3 types: sharirik, vachik, and manasic. First, tap are of 3 types. So if in exam it is asked how many types of tap are there? There are 3, and which are they? Sharirik, vachik, and manasic. Physical, verbal, and mental. Even Shauch in Patanjali, when Yam we studied, Shauch is also of 3 types: Sharirik, vachik and mansik. Ahimsa, sharirik, vachik and mansik. So here tap is also divided into 3 types: sharirik, vachik and mansik. And then Bhagwan has further divided these tapas into sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So tapa, that is austerity. So sattvic. Sattvic tap is that which is practiced with faith and without expecting anything in result or return. Again, same. श्रद्धा से करते हैं and no expectation at all. Rajasic tap, that which is practiced for the sake of show, name, and fame. I want respect, I want honor, I want adoration from people, I want people to adore me. So when you practice tap or we do tap for this reason, then it is called as Rajasic tap. Then what is tamasic? That which is practiced with false notions and bodily torture for harming others. So any austerity or tap which is done when false notion means you're not sure what you want to do, how you are going to do it, or how it should be done. You're confused. And bodily torture, that means by performing that tap or austerity, you are torturing yourself or harming others. So it is torturing yourself also. At the same time, you could be maybe harming others. That is called as tamasic. We have discussed about this previously also. So these are the 3 kind of tap. First is sattvic, which is practiced with complete faith without expecting any result. So this is very simple. We know that. What is sattvic? Rajasic is, we know, show, दिखावा, पूरा जो है honor, respect, I want this, I want that, adoration. That is rajasic. And tamasic is when we practice tap or austerity, when we are not clear about how to do it and what to do, and we torture ourselves, and also, or you can say you harm others also. In both ways, it is called as tamasic tap. Now, here, sattvic. Sattvic, they worship of God. So, those who perform sattvic tap, they worship God, Brahmins, elders, and wise men, as well as purity, self-control, and non-violence. So, these people, they worship gods, Brahmins, the knowledgeable people, wise men, elders, as well as their purity. They're very pure. They have self-control. That means their senses are in control. And they follow ahimsa, that is non-violence. Now, rajasic, those who perform rajasic tap, words which are harmless. Now, verbal. What is verbal? So, verbal tap, which is rajasic, that is words which are harmless, truthful, pleasing, beneficial, as well as scriptural study. And then is manas, that is mental, tranquility, gentleness, mind control, and purity of heart. Just a minute. Okay. Then, very important, Om Tat Sat. Now, we all know that Om, if you look at any mantra, most of the mantras, there is hardly any mantra that doesn't start or doesn't have Om in it, either at the starting or at the ending. They always have that. So Om is very important. We know that this universe was created, the first sound, the Anahat Nad that was there is Om, and everything in this universe, in this world, is created from Om, and every thing has Om in it. That Anahat Nad. So this has been declared to be the triple designation of Brahma. By that were created formally the Brahmanas, Vedas, and Yagyas. So from here, from Om, Tat Sat, what was created? Brahma, Brahman, Ved, and Yagya. Now let's understand what is Om Tat Sat. This is just for knowledge. Om Tat Sat, from exam point of view, I will tell you what you need to remember. Here it is only for your understanding what is Om, what is Tat, and what is Sat, because it is beautiful when you understand it. This has been declared as the triple designation of Brahma, that is a Nirdesh, generally given in ritualism. So Nirdesh means what? Brahma is telling something. Om, and then we say the mantra. So that means Brahma is telling us something, that a ritual, it starts with it. Is that by performing which any defects that are in the sacred worship are all removed. So even if there are certain mishaps or defects in the worship or whatever we are doing, when we started with Om Tat Sat, Bhagwan is saying that all the defects or whatever it is lacking, everything is taken care of. Each action, no doubt, has its fruit. But the fruit depends not only on the action as such, but also on the purity of intentions and motives entertained by the performer. So we know that every action, har karm ka humko phal milta hai. But the fruit does not depend only on the action. So it is not only the karma or the work that you're doing. The fruit doesn't depend only on that, but also on your intention. What are your intention? What is the motive behind doing that particular work or particular action? However diligent the performer of the sacred acts may be, if the motive behind such acts be foul. So if you're performing or you're doing some karma, which is very, very good, for example, yagya, or you're helping someone, or you're doing something to help, but if your motive behind that is not good, then they are rendered into ineffective. Then they're considered as ineffective karma or action to yield rich dividends, and you will not get good fruit out of it. Actions performed by all of us may appear similar. Now, lot of things like we studied dana or charity, we see so many people actually doing charity. But Bhagwan here is saying that actions performed by all of us, just looking at them, oh, these people, they do charity, the action is same, but though the action may seem similar, but the results thereof would vary from individual to individual. But the result of their action, their charity, is going to be different. Why? Because their intention is different. If their intention is sattvic, if the dan is sattvic, if the tap is sattvic, then the result will be different. If the tap is rajasic or dan is rajasic, they will have that type of fruit. If it is tamasic, they will have that type of fruit. So intention, even if you're doing everything correctly, but if your intention is not good, then it is not right. The brilliance and glory of our intention can be heightened by the remembrance of the Lord. So if you really want to work on your intentions, just meditate on God. Just do everything for God as if you're doing for Him, working for Him. Then your intention will always be very pure and good. Dissociation of oneself from one's matter envelopments is that one's awakening and identification with the Lord. So again, here Bhagwan is telling that be free from this materialistic world, dissociate, free oneself from this materialistic world, the attachments. Only then you will realize yourself and you will identify yourself with the Lord. You will realize what the Supreme Lord is. To the extent the sacred activity is selfless, to that extent its rewards are pure. So, whatever action you are doing, whatever activity you are doing, if that action is selfless, nishkam, you're not expecting anything, no selfish desire, with pure heart, pure intention, if you're doing a particular karma, then the reward is also pure and good. To liquidate the ego, the individual must gain the consciousness of his spiritual status. So, if you want to liquidate the ego, that means if you want to let go your ego, be free from your ego, the individual must gain the consciousness of his spiritual status. That means he should know who he is. He should work for the spiritual progress. Only then he will be able to let go the ego. Om Tat Sat is a sentence of 3 words, each denoting one aspect or the other of reality. Now, each word has a very deep and beautiful meaning. Let's understand that. Om represents the transcendental and the pure self. We know Om, very pure, the absolute and the unborn, which is infinite substantive upon which the projections of the body, mind, and intellect are maintained. So Om is what? It is a what you say. It is just like it's Bhagwan or God. That is Om. So anything that we want to start, anything good that we want to start, we always start by saying Om. Why? Because Om has that power, that energy, good energy, which will help our whatever goal or aim or activity that we are going to do, to it will help us to attain our goal. Or if at all you are doing something, when you chant something that starts with Om, it sees to it that all the obstacles are removed and everything goes on very, very smoothly. The term Tat is used in our scriptures to indicate the eternal goal, the changeless, and the ever perfect. We know what is that eternal goal, the changeless and the ever perfect. That is Paramatma, the supreme being. And in the famous Vedas, we also know Tat Tvam Asi. It is used Tat Tvam Asi. So Tat indicates that from. Tat means what? From which everything has come. That means from which everything has come. We know from what everything has come? From Brahma, in which everything exists. In Brahma, everything is there, and into which everything merges back in then, and everything is going to dissolve into Brahma only. So that is Tat. That indicates Tat. Now, Sat means existence, the principle of existence, functioning through all things which are perceived, which are felt and thought of in our everyday life. We call as Sat. So, whenever we are talking about something that is very good, so like here I have written Sat Purush, Sat Karma. So, something that we want to say that it is, we want to express it as good, that we call as Sat. We just add Sat to it. Then to denote that it is something good, something that is very nice. Now, therefore, the utterance of Om are begun the acts of sacrifice, gifts, and austerities as enjoyed in the scriptures, always by the students of Brahma. Hence, whatever tap or whatever sacrifice, yagya, or whatever you are doing, it always starts or it has that word Om in it. Persons who do not desire fruitive rewards but seek to be free from material entanglements utter the word Tat. So, if you want to be free from this materialistic world, if you want to be free from expectations, from karma phal, then you should utter the word Tat along with the acts of austerity, that is tap, sacrifice, yajna and charity. So when you perform tap, yajna and dan, while doing that, you should utter the word tat. Then Bhagavan is saying that you will be free from all the attachments. You will be free from the roots of your actions. The word sat is used in the sense of an auspicious act being established in the performance of sacrifice, penance, and charity. Again, here all the three, tap, yajna, and dana. So any auspicious act or any auspicious person we want to talk about, or we want to denote it, then we use that word sat. So we know that sat. Now what is asat? Last, whatever is sacrificed, that means whenever we perform any yajna or havan, or charity or dan, given or performed, and whatever austerity, that means whenever we performed yajna or dan or tap, if it is practiced without shraddha, that is faith, it is called as asat. So whatever you're doing, whether it is yajna, whether it is dana, or whether it is tap, you need to have shraddha or faith, complete faith in whatever you're doing. Like you're studying now, you're attending the class, so you have faith that yes, I am going to learn something today in the class. Then it is sat. If you don't have faith, then it is called as asat. So anything done without faith is called as asat. And with this, we complete our 17th adhyay. Tomorrow, we will start with the 18th adhyay.